brought to you from your friends at Bayview Gardens. And I really like a lot of garlic in my dills. Oh, here we go. So you stir it for 1 minute. And then off. So peel your garlic. Pop it in the jar, and then basically you stuff as many pickles in this jar as you can. And all the things that you're going to do, that's going to take any time, it's going to be this part of it. And you really want to get as many in as you possibly can. So as you can see, there's a number of different sizes here. This is a 1 liter jar. You can get even larger jars. And the other thing is, what you can do is, if you just want to keep something in your fridge, you can just use a crock pot, a nice hotter crock pot, and process it that way. Some recipes will tell you to cut the ends off. I find I prefer it with the ends on. I mean, it'll really suck in the vinegar. So now, as you can see, this is ready to use. Typically, there's some really brilliant equipment available. There's funnels. There's a canning kit that's available, which is really worthwhile. It comes with a funnel, the tongs, and the lid picker-upper, which is just a magnet, basically. And it's just a magnet. It helps you pick up the lids when they come out. But in our case, we're going to use this handy-dandy cup. And you fill it sort of to that level. So you can go home today and say, yes, or yes, I went and watched the demo with Clark. Yes, he's really cool. You know, he used a garlic stalk to stir the jam with, and then he used a paper cup to dip the jam into the jars. So the next step is the lids. This smaller container. And with the lids, they recommend that you don't use boiling water, just very hot water. So you pop these lids in. And because I've been in the business for a while, I will attempt with great pain to take it out of the boiling water. Just for you. I love you so much. And the big thing is just to pop them on. And then the rings go on after that. And you don't have to tighten them so tight that you'll never get them off. Just tight enough that nothing will leak. Because that seal that's on the lid is really effective for that kind of thing. And then the next thing you do, you pop it back in the water and turn it on. Can you give that a quick rinse? That's the only pot we have, right? Okay, thanks. So then in here, I have already the liquid for the pickles. And it's pretty simple. It's just a simple brine. And we have 2 cups of white vinegar, 2 cups of water. I have 2 tablespoons of mustard seed and 1 tablespoon of black pepper. And we also have pickling salt. And make sure you use pickling salt. You don't want to use sort of table salt. You don't want that iodized. It has to be specifically pickling salt that you want to use, okay, when using it. And we'll bring that to a boil. Pour it over the pickles, and that's it. Don't process the pickles. First time I made them a while back, I did that, and they're really easy to chew. So the big problem, when I talked with the health unit, the big thing that they say is that with this, it's all about acid for preserving. It's a state of acidity. So with the vinegar that you have here, it stays above, it's safe. The jars are sterilized, the pickles are clean. That's one thing you really need to do is really wash the pickles off. Don't boil them. Don't boil. Again, unless you want them mushy pickles. And then when here as well, just for fun, I'll add a little of this. Thank you, ma'am. But I think the big reason I like to do this type of stuff is to let people know how really easy it is, because if I can do it, anybody can do it, really. And it's just one of those things that people sort of think that there's something that they really have to be concerned about at some point, and that's not the case. So from here, what we'll do is boil this, make sure it's boiling, pour it over top. We have the lids once again in the hot water, and the rings ready to go. And at that point, you'll have pickles. I would recommend that you don't sort of make them and take them to a party that night. Let them sort of get some of that flavor through it, because it really needs time for it to settle. The other thing, if you ever start making mustard, we'll do mustard maybe another time, is that mustard has to be left for at least 48 hours, because mustard is naturally bitter. So when you're making it, you're going to have a hard time. For those of you that cook and taste, you're going to have a hard time, because when you first use the mustard seed, it's going to be very bitter. So you're going to go, oh God, this is horrible, more sugar, more sugar. And then when you sort of taste it later on, it's really ridiculously sweet. So mustard seed, you have to work around it. If you're tasting it, work around. The nice thing about mustard is that 90% of the world's mustard is grown in Canada. So the funny part is Dijon mustard, most of it is Canadian mustard that goes over to France and then comes back to us. So you can really circumvent that whole travel time by making yourself. Beautiful thing about all these recipes there's Google out there. So when if you want to sort of look up some mustard recipes, some pickle recipes, they're all ready to go. Hopefully this comes to a boil very quickly. Did my guys bring the pickles? We have pickles that we have already made coming. Yes.
There are more.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Oh, okay. And there are more. Why ask?
Something's like this.